Moving to politics now, looks like Democratic presidential hopeful Barack Obama may have snagged a souvenir from his overseas visit. Check out the latest Gallup poll. It shows that Obama now leads McCain by 9, count 'em, 9 percentage points. So does this mean that Obama is, well, setting the agenda for the November race? And if so, what can McCain do to steal his thunder? Joining us now live from Washington, Brian Bennett, Time magazine contributor and former Time Baghdad bureau chief. Brian, always great to see you.
Hey, good to be on.
You know, is this 9-point jump attributable to what is perceived by American voters to be a very successful overseas trip, which may have burnished Obama's foreign policy cred, as they say?
It is, and it even surprised the Obama campaign. They were soft-pedaling the trip. They were saying that they were even expecting maybe a dip in the numbers after this trip because Obama had been away for a week, out of the country, and not talking about the issue that all the polls say is #1 on the voters' minds, issues like the gas prices and economy. Well, we see a bounce, and we see that foreign policy really is on voters' minds as well.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet you saw Frank Rich's column today in the New York Times. He describes how the heads of state over there treated Obama really as an acting president. And in fact, let me quote from that column today. What drew them, that is to say the heads of state, was the raw power Mr. Obama has amassed, the power to start shaping events, the power to move markets, including TV ratings. Power begats more power, absolutely. Do you think, Brian, that Obama is in many ways sort of setting the agenda for this election?
Absolutely. In the last few weeks, Obama has decided what's being discussed. Last week, it was all about his trip in the news, and McCain's really been on his heels. And the McCain campaign is desperately trying to find a way that they can get control of the discussion here again, and they're struggling.
You know, some people have said, look, there's got to be a reverse effect. Europeans are anti-American, and a lot of people are saying, well, if the Europeans love Obama, we shouldn't. Are you hearing any of that?
I think this is a possible vulnerability. Obama has to walk a fine line with his international popularity because Americans don't want to feel like the world is electing a candidate for them. And certainly the McCain campaign is trying to push that angle. And oftentimes in campaigns, we see a candidate's strength become their weakness. And it's possible the McCain campaign can pull a jiu-jitsu move and convince American voters that it's the world that's electing their president and not the voters themselves.
You know, Brian, even Democrats, diehard Dems, are admitting that Obama was wrong about the surge. He stubbornly refuses to admit it. But is that fact canceled out by his other positions? That is to say, his withdrawal timetable endorsed by Nouri al-Maliki, it seems prescient now. Even President Bush is talking about, you know, general time horizon for pullout. And Obama's much maligned idea of directly talking with Iran, well, that's now suddenly administration policy. So does all of that cancel out his mistake on the surge?
I think it does. I think if you had looked at his Iraq policy before last week, it seemed like McCain won, Obama 0. McCain was right about the surge, that it's working, and Obama really didn't have a good argument for being against the surge that was really resonating. But now that we come to the timetable discussion, you have the Maliki government's aligning in some respect with what Obama's been saying. They want a little bit a longer timetable than Obama's been putting forth. And then the Bush administration itself talking about a time horizon. You know, you sort of have a 1-to-1 cancellation here in the two Iraq arguments, and I think we're going to see a difference in the polls.
You know, either he was clairvoyant or really lucky, and sometimes it's good enough just to be lucky. Brian Bennett, Time Magazine. Brian, thanks so much.
Hey, happy to be with you.
All right.